Welcome back to another crypto cruise. Man, the last few days have been absolutely brutal for crypto. Bitcoin has been holding up okay, but alts have been absolutely decimated. It's one of those moments where you question whether or not holding alts are even a good idea. So I'm going to try to explain what's going on. I don't even know if I can, but I'm going to try to tell you guys what to do overall, or what I'm going to be doing, and hopefully help you guys see the bigger picture, and I guess what to expect next week. And by the way, from now on, and since you guys enjoyed it, I'm just going to do crypto cruises with my Cybertruck and have it drive so I could actually concentrate while it's doing its thing. But it is snowing out, so I do have to pay more attention while this drive is going on. Anyways, so I'm sure you guys noticed the last day or two, absolutely brutal for alts. As of right now, Bitcoin is still okay. Bitcoin has fallen. Yesterday it went down to like 95, I think a little like 95, 2 or 3, which on the grand scheme of things, not bad at all, right? Considering in January we had a moment where we fell down to like 89,000. So falling back to 95,000 is nothing, and as of right now, as we're this recording, we're back to 96.6. So again, for Bitcoin, business usual. We have market manipulators. I show you guys a lot of liquidation walls or levels that are existing on Binance, and there are a lot on every exchange. And the market makers, the exchanges, they tend to play their games and drive the longs and shorts out. And we had a lot of up and downs, right? We just had a brief stint above $100,000 while I was streaming in the morning, and then boom, we went down like within a single day, right? So we had both longs and shorts getting wrecked. So unfortunately, we're in one of those volatile moments where both sides are getting wrecked. But Bitcoin is strong, and even though Bitcoin went down to like 95, it's holding at 96.6, and we may be at 97, 98 pretty soon. That's fine. But man, it's a different story with alts, and I think you guys know that too. Alts took an absolutely like a beating, a whipping yesterday, and there was really no reason for it. Okay, obviously what's been happening is there's a lot of uncertainty around tariffs, right? Trump's been making a lot of threats about tariffs. Obviously, with Mexico, with Canada, with China, there may be tariffs placed with the EU. Now with Japan, there's a lot of tariffs left and right. But also beyond that, there's worries about inflation. So on Friday, we had a pretty good jobs number. When I say pretty good, it actually came in less than expected in terms of overall jobs added in December. So that was actually a good thing. It made the market go up. But then we had some kind of Michigan inflation reading, and that showed inflation going up, and that kind of spooked the market and brought the overall market down. So like right now, Wall Street and everyone is kind of concerned about economic data, whether inflation is going up and jobs, and overall how it's going to affect our economy and Fed Chair Powell, and how much he's going to cut rates this year. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Is he going to be cutting rates this year, right? And how often. That's really what it comes down to. So, so right now we got a lot of things going on. We have tariff worries and we got economic data, you know, those two things going on, right? And then we have market manipulation. We have those things going on. Those are not unusual things. But what is unusual is what happened with the alts the last day, I would say, the last day or this last week. Because even though Bitcoin has been manipulated, the alts have been just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And yesterday, the alts got absolutely decimated. So I was looking at it, and again, those of you guys that had leverage open, man, hopefully you guys closed it or you had set some stop losses because they were absolutely brutal. Solana XRP did okay. Solana fell down again to about the 188 level. You know, it's a resistance that it formed in December and January. It fell down to that level, bounced off of there, and now it's back above around the 200 level. So Solana did okay, but obviously not great because it was just at 220 just a week ago and even higher before that. XRP also got a little bit weaker. I don't know the exact price, but I think it fell down to like 210, 215, but obviously not in a great spot considering it was at $3 plus just a few weeks ago. So it did slide down to basically January, December levels, right? So XRP and Solana are doing okay, and there's good reasons for that. Obviously, the community for both are great, but also there's news about ETFs, right? Both of them may be getting an ETF soon, so obviously a lot of enthusiasm over them as well. But man, all the other ones, they dropped so hard. They're back to November. Some are back to October levels. I was looking at like ADA, Hedera, Avalanche, Injective, Chainlink. These are fantastic projects. And the list goes on and on. You choose Algorand. You look at some of these projects. By Friday, they got decimated. It almost seems like everyone dumped. I don't know what transpired. I don't know if the retail. I don't think it was just all retail just dumping. The whales start dumping. If you look at the prices, they got reset not to just January, December levels. They're back to November, some to even October levels. Wow. Can I explain why? No. Bitcoin maxis will say, well, because they're all shitcoins. Maybe they have a point. But really, what happened on Friday really doesn't explain it, right? Just because we have some inflation fears certainly doesn't explain why alts are being dumped at this point. I try to look. I try to see if there's something that I'm missing. But I just don't see it. Okay. So, overall, what does this mean? Well, you could take this one of two ways. Okay. You could take it as altcoin season is not coming, it's over. And it's time to just load up on Bitcoin only, right? You could take it that way. And you know what? Who's to say? Maybe that's not wrong. You know, a lot of you guys follow my DCA portfolio that I add to every Wednesday, and it's doing very well. And some of you guys may not like it or may not have noticed, but since 2021 till now, basically nothing has been outperforming Bitcoin in terms of performance, right? With all the up and downs, I think only one or two have outperformed Bitcoin. So it's hard to outperform Bitcoin. And with this recent drop, yeah, it's even, I think the gap has even, has gotten bigger, right? So, so I don't know how altcoin season is going to be this year. Normally, there's always altcoin season. You see Bitcoin dominance drop. The final year, retail jumps out of Bitcoin because Bitcoin bubble pops, and you see the money flow out. This year, we know that retail's not leading the Bitcoin rise. It's institutions. Retail's not driving Bitcoin this time. Institutions, countries, Wall Street, they're driving things. So are they going to turn to alts? Maybe with some of the ones that, will be getting ETFs. So if XRP and Solana and maybe a few others get ETFs, yeah, maybe the money will flow to them. But are they going to take money out and put into memes or other smaller L2s? Probably not. So I think this year, this cycle, altcoin season may be different. I think there will still be altcoin season, but may not be the same as before, right? So, so going back to what I said, there's two ways to take what's happening, what's going on right now. You could either say, well, altcoin season is not going to come, and just stick with Bitcoin. That may not be the wrong answer or solution. Or you could say, hey, this is just one of those times where people are panicking and overreacting, and I'm just going to continue to DCA. This is like going back in time. I got into a time machine. Now I'm back to November, and I'm able to stack whatever, Avalanche or Cardano or even Solana and XRP at low prices. And you can continue to DCA. And that is probably not the wrong answer either, right? So, you could take this one or two ways. So, of course, you're thinking, well, of course, Jordy, there's only one or two ways, right? What are you going to be doing? Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to be doing anything different. So, whatever I have, I'm going to keep. Am I going to be DCAing more into alts or Bitcoin from here on out? I think I'm still going to in both. What I have been doing in both. So is the answer I'm going to just stop DCAing into alts and only go in Bitcoin? The answer is no. I'm still going to. But what I am going to do is concentrate more heavily into the ones I've been talking about, the ones that I think, the bigger caps, right? The ones I've been talking about the most, the ones I like the most, like Solana and now XRP and even Sui. Speaking of Sui is one of those that have lost a ton of momentum and now has dropped to November levels, right? It is one of those. So, So I am going to continue to DCA into alts, but primarily into the ones that I think have the most potential and that I still think have great, that will still have great potential and great gains left. As for everything else, whatever I have. I don't think I'm going to offload them and do anything different and switch them up. I don't think that. But yeah, that's really it. So it's just a really strange time, right? It's just really strange. There's really no good reason why yesterday we had such a bad alt sell-off day. Really, really bad. Really bad. And even before that, the last week or two, alts have just been getting weaker and weaker and weaker. While Bitcoin's been holding, I mean, Bitcoin holding is no surprise, right? Bitcoin is the dominant, and that's why I've always stressed you got to have a good amount of Bitcoin in your portfolio. There are way too many people every cycle that just go hardcore into alts, and that's because they see Bitcoin being too high, and they're like, you know, I'm not gonna make enough money from it, and you know, that's why I only want to hold alts. But you go through periods, especially this cycle is just so different. You go through periods where alts just get decimated. You know, that's why you still have a lot of times during my live streams, you still have a lot of people that are very depressed, and they're like, I'm giving up, and I haven't made any money in the last 3 years. It's probably people that are only holding alts, and the ones that, you know, that haven't recovered. If you've been holding Bitcoin, for sure you have recovered and you're higher, even if you haven't DC'd, obviously, because we're well into the all-time high. And you know, that's why it shows that Bitcoin is so important. But you know, Bitcoin is led by institutions right now. You know, you got to take the bad with the good, because it does seem like Wall Street is kind of controlling things, and that's why unfortunately we haven't made a new high. But you know, it's going to happen. There's no worries about that. I have no worries about that. It's just one of those times that's kind of volatile, and you just got to wait it out. We're going to make a new high. It's just a matter of when, not if. But man, it just kind of sucks that it's so volatile. Like on Friday morning, we get a really good, I mean, even before Friday, right? We were, days before, we dropped to like 96, and we slowly recovered to 97, 98. Then on Friday morning, we get a bad jobs reading. We pump up to 100,000 in my live stream, and then throughout the day we start dropping, and then we had a catastrophic drop. Man, it's like, what's going on? You know, what's going on? Anyways, that's it, guys. So stay strong, my friends, and you know, you guys decide what you're going to do. I'm going to continue what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to hodl. I'm going to continue to DCA, but you know, I'm going to be more selective. I'm going to continue to DCA into the projects I believe in. I'm not going to DCA into everything, but I'm definitely going to continue to DCA into the top projects. I'm going to treat this as anything else, a buying opportunity, and you know, I'm just going to picture that we got in a time machine and now we're back, right? You know, again, I say this a lot, we tend to live in a moment. So even though it seems like, yeah, it's like really bad, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, so what, right? We drop back to January level, December level, or even November level, right? So what? We drop back a few months. Do we wipe out a year worth of gains? No. Do we wipe out, you know, 2 years worth of gains? No. So, you know, if we wiped out a few months of gains, it sucks. Yes, but we'll recover, right? So, all right, guys, that is it. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. So stay strong. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, during my Sunday walk video. I'll share more thoughts about this coming week, what to expect. Hopefully things are a little bit better. I mean, right now, right before I started you know, filming this, I see Bitcoin starting to come up a little bit. I saw that Solana XRP started coming up a little bit. As for the other alts, they're still kind of low, so that means it's still a good buying opportunity. And I'm going to let the car drive me home, and I'm going to take a little snack while it's doing that. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.